And well, because of search engine optimization or something like that, this game actually keeps coming up. So, and since there's a demo of it, I thought, oh, well, I might as well just try it out. You know, might as well just grab it and try it out. So let's start it up. And there's actually real no other reason other than that. You know, like what does it mean by frozen frame? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Ooh, actually, look at my avatar. Thank you for changing it. Hello, Aaron. But that is actually a nice litmus test sometimes because my avatar is actually dying. Look at the frame rate, it's suddenly dropping. So that's probably a sign that this game is kind of overstaying its welcome when it comes to frame rate limit. And that should immediately fix the smoothness of my avatar. Yep. Let's turn that down a bit as well. It's not something that comes up often, but I do actually like it's nice to like something I do observe sometimes is just other stuff running on my computer at the same time to notice what the game's doing. So like the example is what happened just then, right? Like the game started up and all of a sudden the frame rate of my avatar started dropping. And that was a sign that this game was actually consuming too many graphics card resources. So pretty much the immediate fix to that is to just set the FPS limit there. It doesn't need to be 30, it could be 60 as well, but I just do it 30 just for the additional safety buffer for the sake of streaming. But I'm really not a fan of games having no FPS limit by default, because at the like if you're gonna do that, like they should really just have VSync on at the same time, because there have been a few cases where a few real-life cases, not to me particularly, but where games run at like 1000 FPS or something, and it ended up damaging the graphics card. And it's like, you know, the monitor can't physically show 1000 frames per second. Like it can go up to like 100 or something like that, but not more than that. So that's probably the first technical thing I've noticed here. And I don't think there was anything else about the controls I noticed. Nothing really notable here. No secondary keys for the keyboard bindings. Yeah. Not every game does that. I think it's very most common in first-person shooters, but I always feel like taking note of that. Like there's no secondary button. Gamepad, there's no diagram for the gamepad controls. No information there for you to, for someone to refer to. But manuals aren't really a thing anymore, so for me, like if I need a refresher on what the controls are, I go into the options and look at the controls. I have no idea. That's kind of something that's hard to prove, I think. I mean, it's probably worth, like, at the very least, that would probably be covered under the warranty. That's not something we're suing over, so... So let's see. It's a nice interface. We've got some nice interface buttons here. This bug report button is really nice. But then I press this new game button and it's like, oh, it's a plain box with white borders. That's... Press new game there. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Okay, I think I need to press new game down here. Select game mode. Campaign, survival coming soon. Player count 1 to 50, difficulty medium. Embark on the Great Arcana campaign. stop the great evil and build your new world. Mysterious heroes and unusual quests are waiting for you ahead. Is there character creation? No, there isn't. That text was too fast. That text over the screen, I couldn't actually read that. I think I saw the word asylum or something. That way is too fast. I can kind of tell, like, you know, this game is still in development, so that health bar is not very nice looking. It's just plain rectangles with a bit of a slant to them. It looks like the UI is kind of half done. Like, the compass looks nice, the shortcuts on the bottom left and right look nice, but the health bars, it's not really coherent with everything else at the moment. Oh, I'm a skeleton. Okay. I'll just turn up the mouse sensitivity. Oh, I'm never gonna get a perfect number, it's just gonna be a float. Okay. Metal sword. How to fight. Attack enemies to fill power bar, jump to evade attacks, hold to block power attack, easy confirm. Some shift to run. The yellow bar, it makes me think of Sekiro and that stagger meter. It's a jump button. Let's grab my controller. See what the buttons are like. Oh, and it's shoulders to attack. The buttons there are a little bit too small, I think. And that's a crouch button. Oh, and you've got like, okay, so you're using the D-pad to change weapons. So that's probably something they need to do as well. Like, they need to like change the UI layout on the bottom left to be a cross shape if you change the D-pad. That would be a nice little quality of life thing. And there's also like some kind of lock on, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't know if there's a... Oh, tap LB to do the special skill and hold to block. Okay, let's go back to my mouse, keyboard. And it still has the right stick to lock on. Oh, and now it's disappeared because I made the UI prompt disappear. So there's no real... if I look at the controls, there's probably a lock on button somewhere, but... probably not fully necessary on keyboard and mouse. There should probably be an option to turn off health, the whole damage pop-ups. There's no time to talk. Why are you giving me that button? To leave as soon as possible. I give you the ability to fly that bird. How do you fly? Space or jumping to fly? Okay. Speed up, slow down. Rise again, small pebble. Yeah, that's a nice little quick tutorial, I think. And we've got character creation with lots of presets already. Actually, that's cool. Is there blue? Right, there's light blue and dark blue. Nice. Can I rotate? Yes, left click to rotate. Okay. Good enough. So there's a crouch, but there doesn't seem to be like a roll or dash. There's a sprint button. There's no like hop. I have freed you, Pilgrim. And now my strength is running out. Go away, the spirit of Faceless is near. The spirit of Faceless? I probably would have gone for Faceless Spirit. Since the dialogue is appearing in the form of subtitles at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to assume that there's supposed to be voice acting. They just haven't done any kind of like temporary recording yet or anything like that. Like they haven't done any kind of scratch recording to implement that. It's kind of a shame. That said, the rest of the sound design like that is present, like the fires and the ambient noise. So it's not really that bothersome. And music, so. Oh, those doors are symmetrical. Those symbols are symmetrical. Loading, 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 loading. Cradle of Keepers. That text stayed up longer. Those doors are symmetrical. Look at that. Those runes are just the same but mirrored. Getting some frame rate drops here, I think. Nice music so far. We the pilgrims, torn from the death's embrace by the magical flame of the Keeper, vow to fight the cursed ones until our bodies crumble and our souls are extinguished. The writing here probably needs a touch bit more editing. Like torn from the death's embrace instead of torn from death's embrace. It's pretty decent though. It's mainly just it probably just needs another pass. There's a bit of aliasing on that light beam there. I think it's a bit too thin. Ooh, what's that? Is this a checkpoint? This is actually pretty good. Like, look at this opening arrow. Like you've got this giant archway This is where you start. I mean, maybe like, and it's just opening up to a point of interest there. This giant light beam there, and this giant floating thing. Like, it's really, I think this is really good at, I'm not sure about this platform here, but just having a cavern open up to the open, open up to the overworld in the sky, and that giant light beam there, pretty much just marking the next point of interest that I should be going to. Like, this is probably a good beginning, to kind of lead the player towards where they ought to go next without any kind of text prompt. So, the beginning level design is good. What's this? You will be shown the way. But yeah, pretty good vista moment, I think. Although, it looks like... I'm not sure about these rocks on the left. It looks like I need to actually go this way because there's only one path forward. And stone. Not 100% sure about what kind of game this is yet though, but it's... I get the feeling it's drawing a couple of leaves from Breath of the Wild's book. Oh, that's weird. That is a... Do you see that motion trail effect on my feet? That's not a consistent motion trail, is it? That's pretty off-putting. Like, it's not really visible here, but from side on, yeah, definitely looks off. These bricks are pretty big. Oh, I'm not doing any damage to that. So I have a special move. Take, like, oh, out, death. Rebirth. Okay, that's the respawn point. That's good to know. So it looks like my right-click special move is pretty powerful. Not really sure about having like that giant loot menu. What did that do? Oh wait, I saw a number 13 on the top left there. What was that? What's this tab? What's that? Safe temperature. Is this like... What is that? Why is this in the food category? Can I right click? No, that's just movement. Okay, so right click moves it and sticks it to my mouse, but I can also just do left click drag. Crafting. Bonfire. I can craft stuff from a menu and put stuff down instead of needing to make a hammer, which is already a plus in my book. Access, destroy. You've got some default icons here. Okay. Add one. How to cook. Open bonfire and add greens. Click to cook to start cooking. Oh, I need to punch wood. What's that little aura? Oh, is that a quest? What is exclamation mark? Walk train. Start with an axe, bring your branches and stones around, and then I think you'll figure it out. There's an alternate trade button. That's nice. Branches and stone. Two magic from all green stones. So is this kind of meant to be like one of those open world Spyro games? It probably is. Where was the third one? There are 3 beams fired out, right? Oh, that was close. Frozen flame, frozen flame. Use the frozen flame at the altars to learn the art of warfare. It's an altar. I don't have a weapon. Okay, I probably shouldn't be fighting back. Oh, I'm trying to right click and nothing's happening. Okay. So what is the frozen flame, I wonder? Because like I need to compare it to Chrono Cross, right? It's like the frozen flame in there was a mysterious artifact, which was essentially like, you know, it was an item that kind of looked like a flame that was frozen in time. But I wonder what the relevance of it is here. Climb stuff. No. I need wood. What's this? Catch the fish. Catch the fish. So these are all like little tutorial challenges done in the form of runestones. It's an interesting way to do things. Like it makes the tutorials optional, but also like it puts them on an interesting point of interest as well. Oh, that's enough fish. Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. I'm thinking of like other open world survival craft games I've played, and it's like something that I've never been liked is how they have this giant list of things to do. It's all basic stuff, right? It's like as a tutorial. It's like, you know, you don't like, it kind of like, it feels like it's treating the player as a bit of an idiot. Like, why do I need to do all of this stuff to progress the story? I was never a big fan of that. But here, I think they've done something smart here where they have these rune stones, and those tasks are something you do with the rune stones. And the rune stones are also points of interest and encourages you to explore and really go around. So I think it's an interesting gameplay loop here, even though it's just intro. I mean, there could be like a bit more work put into it, like for example, just having the text pop up and telling you what to do. They could probably do something a bit more exciting, rather than just that. The gameplay loop so far, it's like I'm not complaining about doing this basic stuff, which is odd to me. Like, oh, you know, like kill 5 rats and bring back their tails. Oh, there's a map button, isn't there? Oh dear. Nope. Go away. That's probably something I can mine later. Oh, my health is really low. Oh wow, look at the coordinates here. These are giant numbers. Find the way to the ice citadel, reach the portal. You know what? I didn't even really need these, because there are lots of visual markers. I bet the blue light is the ice citadel. I'm not exactly sure what the portal is. That might be a portal. Either way, it's a point of interest. Hey, he also is the source of wisdom for all orders. So, level up screen. Using the flames. Use the ability to use staves, swords, bows. Let's get something. These are basics. I'm not sure if I'd really... unlock this. This is really basic though. Like, oh, I can pick up a sword and use it. I'd rather just skip that entirely. But having... It's the basic trinity, isn't it? Like, you've got melee, you've got range, you've got magic. You've got the fighter, you've got the mage, and the rogue. Oh, that's all I did. All I did was unlock swords, and that's it. And I'm out of skill points. I'm not sure if I'm really happy with that. I don't have a sword in the first place. Okay, punching trees does not work. Can I get a branch? There we go, I've got some branches now. Oh, they're fighting each other. Okay. What now? Alright, let's do this. That's better. And I can't loot the weapon from it. Oh, and we've got another stone. Consume magic energy. Oh, gotta follow the lights. I'm probably gonna die, aren't I? I don't know how to heal yet. Death. Oh, where was that? Oh, there's a mark indicating where I died, I think. I got stuck. Ow. Combat and movement feels a bit janky. Like I kind of want some kind of quick hop button. Probably needs a bit of work. It's also like kind of interrupting me with doing this little activity. Because what I really want to do is just look around and collect these stones. Why can't it just be peaceful? That's why I died. Oh, what are they doing? Oh jeez, that's a lot of aggro. That's not good. And I'm not losing aggro. Help, 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 help. Yeah, 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 yeah. But that's not good. Oh dear. Oh dear, like they're not stopping. They're not stopping. I've lost aggro for some of them. Ugh. This, I think this combat system needs more work. I think I need to build up a charge in order to do this special. There's a meter building up there on the bottom right, which explains why I can't use it straight away. But it's really kind of getting in the way of me doing this kind of item hunt activity. I mean, I could find where the last one is. Where is it? Where is it? It's probably in the grass, actually. Encoding overloaded. Reduce your settings. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna fail it. I straight up don't know where it is. The balls of light kind of came out too low to the ground for me to actually really keep track of. Plus, I keep getting distracted by these. So, like I'm actually having genuine problems at the moment. Oh, the mission's not failing. Okay, that's weird. Oh, now it's gone. Okay. Let's try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe that's the challenge itself, though, like trying to do it while being hounded. But I think there needs to be better visual indicators. So I think I lost track of the fourth one again. That ball is attacking that moon thing for... Oh, there's the last one. Ooh. Okay, that's jank. Like, I managed to do it, but there was nothing kind of... But the balls interrupted me, so that's a bit jank. And like the AI is not fully clearing. Like for some reason they're attacking the stones. And I actually don't know why they're attacking the stones. This aggro range is too high. Oh, look at that world. Makes me rather curious. Is that a friendly? Look at this. A body showed up with arms and legs. If you want to get to Kronos, you'll need 4 cursed masks. Wait, look for them? Oh, I can give you one for free. Okay. I don't have any money for that. So I need to go to 3 or 4 different locations. Wow, this is actually making me think of the initial gameplay loop of Breath of the Wild, isn't it? Like, in order to progress forward, you have this big open area. And you need to go to 4 locations. Temple of Flames, spawn area. Mask of the Smoldering Warlock. Mask of the Furious Grunt. So let's just run to another one of those beams of light, and then I think that'll be enough for me playing this demo. There are no dragons. There is no dragons left in Arcana, only manbeasts. I bet the length of the demo is actually going to all these points of interest and open a portal, and then when you go through the portal, that's it. That would be a good stopping point for the demo. That's big. Oh, there's one right here. All I have is an axe, though. Nope. Sacrifice fried meat times 3. Okay, so it's essentially just... It's kind of spreading the tutorial out into these activities. Like at this point of interest, you do this, and you need to learn how to do this. And then I probably need to go to like another altar and put something else there. No fall damage. Not yet. What's this? Sacrifice what? Fabric. I expected more of a challenge, but it seems like it's encouraging to learn how to craft and gather resources. And can't open it. Okay. Encoding overloaded even though I'm paused. That's interesting. Let's quit out of this. Wow. I can actually hear the fan going crazy. So I didn't explore too much. I took my time, like, I'm just looking at how long I've been playing. That was a little bit of a while. Open world games take a lot of time. You know, like, especially this kind of thing where it's like you just explore. I can see. Well, I see what they're trying to go for. They're trying to make. I think they're trying to make like every single thing interesting. Um, it's a little ironic when I say this, um, but like I said earlier, like I've played some of those other open world survival crafts games, and it's like they just give you a big checklist of stuff to do. You know, it's like it's just do this, do this, do this. Like make a bed, make an axe, make a sword, make a bed, make a house, and then go sacrifice this thing. And it's like okay, just and it's like yeah, you don't need to follow it, but like that, like it's kind of I think it's a little bit demeaning for it to do something like that because like you can just figure that out yourself. Or isn't there like a better way to teach the player how to do all of that stuff? Make it organic into the world instead of all right, you gotta build all this stuff. And here, um, they kind of incorporated it into the exploration part as well, right? Like it's like the world's not just there for you to travel, like it's an actual there. It's there for you to find stuff as well and gain these tasks. And it's a minor difference, but it keeps you engaged, you know, like instead of just following a checklist and reading the list and following it, instead you need to like what this game did is that they gave you these basic tasks to learn through an interesting reward system of and the game loop of find this interesting point, do a little bit of a mini game, and that also like encourages to actually explore the world as well and really look at your environment. Whether it was done well or not, though, like it probably could use a bit of work, like more visual feedback or more visual information, um, in making sure like the task can be done. Like I was a bit kind of stuck in that place with the boars. Like I was in that grassy field trying to hunt down those rune stones, and I wasn't really able to do it in peace. Right, even when I was handing it in, I wasn't able to hand it in peace. So there was a bit of an issue there. Um, and they, I think they could have done a bit more work in making it visually interesting, making sure like the task itself was clear. I think it kind of popped up a little bit too quickly for me, but that's just me. Like they shot out those beams of light, but they didn't do it in a way that since they shot them out on every direction and that big runestone was in the way, I actually couldn't see like the fifth one, so I didn't know where to go and look for it. They could have done something a little different there to be able to communicate the necessary information. But all in all, this is definitely a gameplay loop that I don't really have any problem with. Even though I didn't really do much, I actually felt pretty satisfied with what I did, which is weird. You know, sometimes I wonder if like, oh, you know, can I fight a boss or something? But yeah, not a big fan of the combat though. The combat probably needs a bit more work. Um, it's always. I mean, this is where my bias is showing pretty much. But another thing I didn't like about those open world survival craft games is how you really start with nothing, and it takes you ages to even figure out how to defend yourself. You know, and you have all of these enemies around, and like yeah, like the game did teach you the combat system, but you didn't have a weapon. You know, you couldn't even punch stuff, and the first skill you get is just the ability to hold a weapon. Um, yeah, and it was probably because the boars kind of ganged up as me as well. So, yeah, the game needs some optimization. Um, there were some frame rate issues at the beginning. So that probably needs a bit more work there. especially in just like increasing the amount of options to adjust. So there isn't really anything there at the moment, but it does make sense because this is a demo. They're probably still optimizing it, so it's just not in a ready state. Um, Visually, the UI needs work, but UI usually comes like the UI is kind of a constant process. But I didn't really have any major complaints. Well, I think the one I would be a bit raising my eyebrow at is there were a few full screen things. Like when you examined the thing, there was a full screen thing, and when you examined those monuments, there was like a full screen thing, and like that's probably a bit too much because it took you away from exploring the world. And it was the same for the loot menu. It was just a big full screen menu, which was probably excessive, especially since it's only like one or two items, right? Like you could probably like increase the flow of that a bit better. Um, it's also a little subtle thing. There's also a subtle thing going on here where I think some of the props in the world are a bit too big relative to my character, and it tends to be a thing in third-person games in general where the world props are kind of unrealistically big. Um, where was I? Yeah, it's kind of a thing that happens in some third-person games where the world props are a little bit too big. And like that respawn platform, it just felt huge to me. Like it's a subtle thing, but there was yeah, there was just something off about that. Other than that, though, like the general art style and the visual fidelity of the part, that looks great. Um, it was mainly just little things that need more iteration, I think, like just making sure the props are in the right place and the UI. So nothing really wrong with that at the moment. Animations were not pretty good though. They were pretty janky, and but all in all, I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far. But it's not really something I'd probably be raising more eyebrows if it was like this when the game comes out. Not exactly how far along the game is. So it's kind of hard to figure out um the game loop for an open world game like this because like you kind of explore at your own pace. But there wasn't really any moment where I felt like I wanted to quit, you know? So that's like if there's ever a moment where I feel like I wanted to like move on to something else, that's a bit of a red flag. Um, so no complaints there. I think it was pretty satisfying, especially when I like review the clock now. It's like I feel like oh, it's enough, and then I look at the how much time I spent. It's like oh, cool, that's like enough for like an afternoon, of gameplay, especially just for a demo. And yeah, just kind of makes me curious. That said, no idea what the game is about. No idea what the game is about yet. Um, like the audio was nice. The dialogue was a bit jank, but like maybe that's intentional. Maybe it's meant to invoke curiosity, but I wasn't really feeling it just yet. I wasn't really sure what the theme of the world was or anything like that just yet. Um, like I'm not sure if it's like inspired by something in particular, if it's based on a particular mythology. Um, there were like tidbits there, but not enough to pique my interest, to be honest. Um, like may and yeah, I think there needs to be a bit more reinforcement on just what exactly the theme of this game is. Like just a few more reminders or something, or just something like, is there a journal? I didn't find a journal. But all in all, I wouldn't recommend this yet, but I would keep an eye on it. That's what I think. There's especially like what is the frozen flame? Like, what does that mean? It's just an item you get. And I think there needs to be more reinforcement on just what exactly some of these basic elements are. Um, so yeah, needs some more work. Even if it's like just an opening prologue, to give me some context to investigate the mystery, I think. But yeah, I think that's my general feelings on this. I might keep an eye on it, but yeah, it's not exactly something I would immediately recommend yet. Like, I think it's nice that there's some, I can kind of see some inspiration at trying to keep the game loop interesting instead of just checklists all the time. So yeah, consider my curiosity piqued, but I wouldn't recommend it yet. That's what I think.